And yeah, just kind of back to that, you don't live here, don't surf here.
Yeah.
Those are the days, the hierarchy.
Full on, dude. It was it's so weird nowadays because like that just wouldn't, around here that just doesn't exist and it wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like you would just go to jail nowadays.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
back it's the whole back then there wasn't the internet. Back then, like, people turned a blind eye and fucking it was literally different back then. And I know it's overly used, but we're like at that era now where we could say, dude, it was different back then. And my thing is this. I was always very respectful, and the majority of my friends were very respectful of when we went to other people's places, we were respectful of that. Right. I had very few friends that would go rattle shit up in places they knew they shouldn't. And every once in a while, you have the one friend that you're like, really, dude, you're being that guy. Like, you should respect this because we would like that for us as well. Right. And do unto others. So I was always very much like that. And I always was lucky, especially like a little later in life with places that we had access to with the right people. And even then, I never was like, I'm going to fucking get any way I want. I'm with the boys. And I still never acted that way. I'm not about that. And the breakwater was a very tight-knit bunch. There was a shit ton of people in the water back then, but it was literally all friends and people that knew each other. And there was a hierarchy. And I can let you know from like 1983 to about 1986, I got a lot of leftover scraps. Yeah. And then by later 86 on, my generation and I that were like in our teens, like 16, 17, 18, at that point, we started dominating out there.
Started coming into it. Yeah, I mean,
and then by like our late teens, we were like so beyond cocky with it. We were like, fuck you guys, this is our time. Yeah. You know, and like, we respect you. And there was dudes that like, I was like, I would never disrespect you in any way, but like also like, I'm gonna go. Yeah. Like, or I'm gonna sit with you, you know what I mean? And you're like, you're out there now. And it's like, it's always been like that, Yeah. And it's funny too. It doesn't have to be a place that's quote localized or was localized either. Like, dude, you go out at Malibu and it's packed as fuck, but you know what fucking 10 guys are getting the waves consistently, like lowers. There's just a hierarchy, man. If you're in tune at all, you'll pick up on that. And you're like, cool, man. Yeah. Like, they're not going to yell at you and say, get the fuck out of here. But you probably should have burned that dude because, like, the guy obviously lives here,
Right. Yeah, I think, like you're saying, kind of that buddy system, you kind of find that older guy or somebody, you kind of sit under them, sit with them, kind of work it out. And, when a lot of times the older guys are trying to get their breath back from their last wave. So, okay, they're probably not going to catch the next wave and just kind of talk it out with them, throw a couple of words around.
The whole thing with where we grew up was always like, it wasn't the greatest place to grow up surfing. It was like fun. And like I said, the north side was consistent back in the day. You had the jetty and like looking back at it, we had it a lot better than we probably thought, but it still wasn't like San Diego or, Oxnard where like the waves are exceptional more than not. And lots of it up in those areas and like, all that stuff. And so for us, it was like, hey, man, like when it's good, we deserve to have this. Yeah. And the other thing that mega came into play was that wall. That's where the skate park is now. So that's leveled. And the pavilion and that wall got leveled. And we all knew, we're like, once that gets leveled, it just literally opens up the skyline to the beach. Right. And there was like, people knew there was a beach, but like people would walk by and they wouldn't know there was like the breakwater. They wouldn't even pay attention to it. So it was also like on the map, but also off the map in a way, if that makes sense. It wasn't a destination people were trying to go to. They would just stumble upon it pretty much by accident. And there was the whole thing of like, you could bring a friend, but Like, you better ask the other friends if it was okay. And that dude better be mega cool and better mind himself in every way. And that was about the nicest it could be on that one. You know what I
That's
mean?
funny,
Like,
dude. Even
yeah,
today,
like,
yeah, even today I serve a spot where it's like, it's known, right? But it's like a little lesser known than the spots by it. And the old guys, people there are kind of like, yeah, they kind of give you the eye when you bring somebody new. And so if I, once in a while when I do, I have to let them know, like, I just start pointing people out. Okay, that guy, that guy, that guy, that girl. Don't don't
yeah,
don't fuck with them. Just
yeah, totally.
get out of the way and let them
Dude,
go.
speaking and talking about like how you were saying earlier, like, it's good to see a lot more women surfing nowadays, this and that. Man, there's some women that crush it. And like, there's a couple out at the breakwater. Like, I don't know who they are, but I was like, damn, dude, like, man, we even got women surfers that rip around here now because, like,
Yeah.
around here, there is always local talent. And there's always the people that like outshine the rest. And growing up, you always have like those few standouts.
Right.
And that there's more than not nowadays. And like, regardless if they grew up here or if they moved here, there's like people that really rip out here where I'm like, man, there's a plethora of really good surfers around this place now. And like, especially the women, you're like, oh, dude, they just like rip now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, they
Look, man,
rip.
there's women on that 100-foot wave. So I'm like, well, I know I'm not going out there. So her balls are pretty fucking big. Are you going out there, motherfucker? You know what I mean? Like, that shit's like, that line has been like crossed. You know what I mean? They've come in and gone, fuck you guys, and like, rightly so. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, they they had to probably put up with a lot to get that good, especially over the last couple decades. So
I mean, there was hardly any girls at all that surfed at the breakwater at all. It would be like someone's girlfriend wanting to surf, and then like the boyfriend was probably gonna be pissed about it too.
Thanks so much, everybody, for joining in. We'll get back with them again for sure. We got to do a follow-up, and everybody have a nice day. I hope the waves turn on for you.